Hello, guys. Welcome back to Above End. And I am, as usual, joined with Operateur.
Yes, hello. How are you?
I am good, my friend. How are you today?
Yes, I'm good as well.
So you did some stuff last video. You did this little cafe uh, shop, uh,
Indeed, yeah.
or not a shop. It's abandoned, but. Uh, And after that, I went over to this little area here. And also, if you guys didn't get to see Obertörst last video, then I would suggest you go watch it on his channel because it's pretty badass what he's doing. So definitely think you should watch it. Um, but anyways, so we had a plan for these buildings here at the edge here, or the creek, or how we gonna call this crater. I mean, not creek.
Yeah,
Um,
crater. The edge of the crater.
yeah,
The islands.
yeah, kind of like got levitated, and then the buildings that were like on this particular edge or were standing in the crossroads of the island kind of like collapsed or totally just broke down and only have half a side. Um, but today's video, um, I'm making some collapsed building. I'm not making them bare on the other side, which were the first thought of it. But the more I built, I kind of felt like that these houses here could be more collapsed than ripped apart, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so like almost at the edge, but not quite close enough to break into, basically.
Yeah, like maybe just the shakiness of all that when the earth levitated has kind of like broken it down or made it collapsed or something like that, right?
Yeah, sure.
So sometimes when I build these buildings here, I don't know if you had the same thing, but when I first start building them, I don't actually think about first that I have to kind of like destroy them afterwards. So I just go like full ham on the detailing. I don't think about that most of the detailing that we actually put on here. You don't really see it as much because it's covered up with clutter, foliage, you name it. And
Yeah,
so sometimes I was like, I wonder if this is even necessary. Like I
yeah,
do
but I think
something.
you.
Hmm?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, I do something with the windows. I try to make custom windows where I was like, was that even necessary in that way? Because they didn't really end up looking super well. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but I think if you do make custom stuff and detail it, I think you will notice it, even if it's a slight detail that you see in between the shrubs or in between the greenery
yeah,
foliage. You will just notice a slight difference, and I think that's at least something.
yeah, true. Um, but it's just mainly the process into building this that you add detailing without thinking about that. You actually need to kind of like even remove it afterwards again because it's broken down or something.
Mm.
But I guess the more detailing still, the more you have kind of like to break off to make it look more broken. So I guess it's a good thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I think so. Because yeah, the buildings are basically should have been detailed and complete in the beginning. So I think that's a good way to do it, regardless.
yeah, indeed. You saw this little cut here. I wrote to you that I had a crash when I was building. I was building this house here, and then I made like the chimney part, and I actually detailed it. It was like for some weird reason, it was like half an hour's autosave didn't appear that half hour, so I had to do all this again here.
Oh no, that's
Um,
always pain.
and it's always have to do it again, but it usually always end up looking better second time, in the
Yeah,
end,
that's true.
anyways. So it was what it was, but it kind of like took me down a bit because I was struggling that day to get in the groove. Remember,
Mm.
I was like, oh man, it's difficult for me to get into the groove today. But I found it, and
Yeah, I think it worked out eventually. So, but
yeah,
obviously, I already seen the end result, but you guys all will see it afterwards, of course. But say the end result is very good, even though you thought it was not working out. So, still,
yeah, thank you, man, thank you, I appreciate it. So something I actually did with this building here was that I use all pieces here is off grid. This entire house is off grid, so I actually can take the back side of it and kind of like tilt it. So
smart.
yeah, so if I had those gridded walls, it wouldn't allow me to do that. So and here we come to that part I said with the custom windows where I struggle a lot with them. Where at the end I was like, how necessary is this to make it look more broken? Because I was trying to make it look broken here, as you can see. I did it before with the in-game windows where you just put like that, triangle shape inside of it, so it kind of like look broken.
Yeah.
And I thought that it would work well here too. But because it was like a really really see-through window, I just didn't feel like I got the same vibe out from it. But I did try, so I tried to like put an extra layer window on, and that kind of like did a little bit to it, as you can see here now. But it's not the best, but I think it works okay. But yeah, I also tried to make, as you can see here, some curtains in where I actually wanted to have that feeling like the curtain is pushing out. So kind of like the window is broken, but I don't know what you feel about that. We can always just make it not the...
Oh no, I think it's good. Yeah, I haven't noticed it in what I've seen about of the build yet, but yeah, I think it's a good idea.
All right. Yeah, because I feel like it was kind of cool just to have like some sort of a curtain like swaying out a little bit from the window like it's broken, to give that effect.
Yeah, because you have also several holes in the building anyway, so you have kind of a draft through the building.
Yeah, exactly. And now we come to the little bit funny part here, where it's mainly just to break it all up again and trying to make it look most destroyed as possible. Here I'm stealing some of the table and things I did on the island itself, and just messing it up. I'm literally just trying to just make it look super messy. Like when you look at this, you don't know where to look because there's so much stuff going on. It's kind of like you will see some of it. You have mainly seen it, but I'm doing something to the plaza or pretty close to it, where I basically just put every freaking piece I can find there almost. But it does make a nice effect on it, I must say.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, I like how you filled the open space that we had there. So it shouldn't be good. Well, it wouldn't have been that easy, I guess, to do that.
No, because I'm already come to this point now where like it's mainly like if you want to make fill in the gaps, then it's like you can put foliage, some barrels, crates maybe, and that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
Newspapers and stuff. So it's kind of like a lot of the same things that are lying around, but it is mainly also what you see post-apocalyptic stuff. It's a lot of the same things lying around and just getting dumped there or something. So
Yeah, we only have so much props we can use for this kind of setting. So yeah, the drums, the barrels, some of them we cannot use, like the exploding barrels is a bit weird with the colors on them.
yeah, exactly.
And yeah, like the boxes is ideal. We can use them a lot, and also those newspapers. That's just typical site that you have with like deserted towns or cities, flying newspapers everywhere.
Yeah, you are totally right. So yeah, that's basically what I do. But I also do make this little kiosk, or like a, yeah, I guess we can call it a kiosk, uh,
Mm.
on the middle of the plaza. But that will be in the little later part of this video here. Um, you saw me tilt the building here a little bit, so it actually got that broken up feeling now. So it feels like it's kind of like collapsed towards the crater, but still kind of connected with the small crumble and roots and stuff, you know.
Yeah, we're just going to say you should add extra flooring, but you are busy with that now, so.
Oh yeah. Oh, but I will for sure add like, I like that the first kind of buildings I did on the little part on the little uh, abandoned main street too, where you made the canal.
Yeah.
They were more like, like a little tryout and like more overgrown, where these guys are more like very broken up, like they're super collapsed, right? And then maybe next to this guy I'm building now here on the right side, where we have the trees and stuff, were mainly templates after I built the church. I might consider adding a little bit taller buildings at the same style, but just have only the front, where you actually have half of the building lying in bits down in the crater, and then it also kind of like get some theming on the launch coaster that we also have down in the crater, right?
Yes, indeed.
So
I think we are gonna also do the launch coaster on the Wasteland itself, maybe.
yeah, we did think about that. So we actually, so this wasteland actually have some sort of purpose for ride or anything, right?
Yeah, but we are still discussing and see what we can do. But yeah,
Yeah, it's
probably we'll figure it out somehow to add the coaster on the Wasteland, but not that big of how do you say, not like enormous big airtime hills that's
no.
expands above all those buildings. I think it's gonna be mostly a ground or terrain based coaster. So
Pretty much, yeah. And I'm also kind of more leaning towards that than going super crazy with the launch coaster.
yeah, indeed.
As you can see here, I tried to make it look like, you know, the road and this little terrace they had here on this building here, kind of like it's broken down, and kind of like just made it look a little bit messy. And I feel like that this build kind of like came out quite good. It looks broken, and I'm quite satisfied on how these builds turning out for each time now. Just like we kind of like found a style for it, and
Yeah, for sure.
super happy
It's
about that.
funny that we in the beginning, before we even started the Wasteland, we had like a plan to make like framework for buildings,
Yeah.
like that we could reuse. But yeah, we are just custom making everyone afterwards. So
Yeah, it's it. Yeah, I think it's just our stubbornness that we just kind of like, nah, I don't. I want to have a new thing here. I can't have something.
yeah. If we have done it the way we first initial were going to do it, then we would have repetitive sizes of buildings after a while. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just to made all of them. It takes more time, but it will pay off for sure.
Indeed, and it will look way better. Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, I mean, we can, of course, one or two maybe of these guys I have on next to your canal thing. If you just detail them differently on each side, so if you just turn them around, they look a little bit different or something.
Yeah, that's true. That's something we can.
That's something we can do for just fills, you know.
Yep.
But as you guys can see here, this little area is starting to get pretty much filled now. And as you saw, the last little road I did when I did the church here, which we moved back a little bit in the previous episode, I moved it forward a little bit again and tried to like make a roundabout too, or kind of like where the cars can turn around, like I did on the other side, and then just moved the car that was like kind of like it was supposed to be imagine it that it was kind of like crashed into some sort of a market cart or something like that. So I'm continuing here on the right side of the path too. I felt like if I could kind of like get these two areas kind of like filled in, then we kind of like had this crater at this part finished with the buildings, and then we can kind of like continue on each side of them. Of course, they will probably added a little bit more stuff, like for example on the where the path or the road and the foundation of the, what is it called, Victorian tower roofs we put down, kind of like make it look a little bit more broken up, yeah. Because the thing I do here now, which is putting some iron girders and stuff around it, is just templates and just kind of like to give it that broken look.
Yeah.
So I actually think that those cable lines, no, power lines, does a good job down here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's an extra. Well, they're a little bit messy as themselves, really, the lines, because they're overlapping each other, and so they feel really well at home, really, on the Wasteland.
They do. They fit.
Yeah.
They fit there. Okay, so here, starting on the second building, where I showed you this guy there. I asked you a little bit before I started going 100% into detailing and stuff with this, if you were okay that I placed this here and stuff. And
Yep.
after that, I just started figuring out what I could do to make this building, make it fit too, and just kind of like have it at the same height as the other one, and don't have it too high. And still the same style, but a little bit different detailing and more, and a little bit more broken up and stuff. So I find my mojo here when after I built the second or the first house and went over to this guy too, because then I kind of like had the idea on how I wanted to build this, which way to go for and what pieces to use and stuff. So I'm quite satisfied on how this turned out, and I mean, it's difficult to get an idea on how you want to build like this broken up house and stuff, but as soon as you kind of like got it, then it runs pretty smooth, like groove wise.
Yes. I like what you are doing here. It's indeed a completely different style, but in a way, it's kind of the same. So yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, I felt like that maybe. I mean, if this has been original buildings and this has been here where people have been living, then I guess we can allow to put a little bit more detailing on these houses. Since they've been here forever, right? Where the island is more what could fit there, and stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
So, and I just tried a different kind of roof here, a little bit more curved instead of just the straight triangle one. Even though it's gonna get broken up a bit here in a sec, but yeah, but I liked it. And I know that these windows here already have shutters, but I cover it up with another window, and then I add shutters, because the shutters, if you add the shutters, you can make it look more broken. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, indeed. And also like different angles, and so that it's not all the same.
Exactly, and that definitely does something to it. It for sure did. As soon as I started making them a little bit crooked and one is falling down and stuff like that.
Great. Yes, great.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know when. I mean, the plans are. What are you gonna try do, in the next video?
Yeah, I think I'm going to make the building next to the one I made last episode. So where I placed those arches. So that will lead to the road
Right.
behind. So that's kind of a path through from the road to the plaza, and there will be a building above those arches, and then maybe some shacks next to it, or yeah, we will see. But I think I will do that building next.
Awesome. Yeah, because I literally think that, man, because it feels like we really got something going on here on this little particular wasteland area on this part of it, though. So it feels like we can like build this area quite fast in comparison to how much I actually thought this area was gonna take compared to how much we already filled out. I mean,
Yeah, it's true. But I must say I still have a lot of ideas to to continue building here. So, but yeah, we will see.
Oh yeah. I mean, we have like basically the entire crater, right, all the way around, almost.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I think we're gonna do at least a couple of things around the whole edge of the crater. Because
Oh
if
yeah,
you turn the camera to the other side of the park, then there also should be some wasteland there. So
yeah. There shouldn't be any like empty spots where it's basically super noticeable, if so. Um,
yeah, we also can fill up large parts with like maybe forests or
oh yeah,
something like that.
some dead forest or something, burned out
Yeah.
trees and stuff. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I also had like an idea a couple of days ago that we could have a small park, but then completely overgrown with even maybe alligators in the water and stuff. So I think that could be something interesting.
Oh yeah, that would actually be quite cool. I'm liking that idea.
Yeah, the story about how the animals are surviving, that's something completely different, of course. So we must see what we work out with that.
It's zombie crocodiles. No.
Maybe.
Um. But yeah, I like that idea, man. I just know for a fact that I'm pretty sure that this area is gonna look damn cool when we're finishing it when we're finishing with it.
Yep. Yeah, that's the plan, of course.
Especially if we're going in this direction of almost creating a new build every time for this area.
Mm. Yep.
So as you see, I also did this building with no gridded pieces again, so I have that option to do whatever I want with it, basically. Where you also saw me tilt it afterwards, so it has that collapsed feeling.
Yep.
And just mess up the roof a little bit, and I tried to give the roof some support, so you see like those poles sticking out and kind of like being a mess here. And I actually feel it gives it a nice effect that the roof is like just super messed up. Here I'm doing some power lines, but of course all this is still templates, because as I'm saying, I'll probably do some more stuff right side of the church, going further on to build some more houses to the crater.
Yeah.
But
Just notice the parts, the floor is gone behind the church. Did I do that?
yeah, I think you maybe it has been attached to something that has been
Oh
deleted or
no!
something.
Oh no!
But it's fine though. It's
Yeah.
it's only pathing, so or the Victorian tower roofs.
Yeah, the roofs. Yeah, okay. But then, yeah, I should redo it then next time.
Yeah, I didn't. I think it's because maybe they were lying wrong or something.
Oh yeah, maybe that's yeah, because I had to rotate some of them indeed. Maybe that's the
Yeah,
reason.
it might have been, but it's no biggie. It was mainly more if it was my church. Then I was like, what? No.
Completely gone.
What is going on? No. Yeah, it's not super crazy. The part I'm doing here, I'm mainly just I was playing around, and as I say, this stuff I'm playing around with here and placing and stuff, it can be deleted. I just felt like a helicopter lying here in the sand was kind of
Yeah,
cool.
why not? Yeah.
And I had to use 2 of them to like make the tail broken.
Oh yeah, indeed.
So, and then I also end up placing some taxis and yeah, I'm just trying to fill out some areas because I felt like after I built the 2 houses here, I needed something to kind of like how do you say it? It sounds weird, but to ruin the view on them, kind of like have a lot of mess going on in the front. Because I didn't like the plain path we had.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Indeed,
that's
that was still something we had to do.
yeah, and that's also where we go back to that little kiosk thing I was talking about
Yep.
in the store, where I'm making a little extension to the plaza. I also changed the colors on these taxis, by the way. They're not this yellowish color. I just tried to do it because I feel like if a yellow was gonna fade out through years, it would be a weaker yellow, right?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, like a washed out.
Yeah, I don't know
or
if it's
to the gray side of yellow,
yeah,
or how do you even say that? I'm not sure.
but I get what you mean though. Okay, here we come to that little kiosk part I was talking about. It's nothing fancy. I just used the in-game little roof dome from the vintage pack, I think. And yeah, I think it's from the vintage pack, isn't it?
Wasn't it Worlds?
Was it?
Well, I don't know.
Okay, so many DLCs, man, I can't remember.
Yeah, not sure.
But I tried to. I don't know. I don't know if this is something you see at a Mediterranean type of town, city. But I have seen it somewhere, and I just felt like it was a nice addition. Having this little sort of, I don't know, call it what you want. It could be even a small ice cream shop you can buy at, or where you can get a coffee or a newspaper or a magazine shop. It can be whatever you want. I just felt like this little kiosk thing here fitted nicely with the surroundings, and yeah, I just felt like it was a nice little addition here.
Yeah, man, it's working out very well here. Indeed, it's something the plaza needs really. So well done.
I'm glad you like it. I also end up making it, of course, a little bit dirty and put some newspapers in the windows and trying to close it off and stuff, so it feels like it's been used, but there's not really anything to come for here. I didn't know about these awnings, or how you say I did here in front, if the black color was the right color to go with, but I ended up taking a little bit more brownish color on it, but still have that black color on the is it the shield? No, not the shield. Kind of like the front where you have the two. You have like the little. Okay, never mind. I used too much time to explain it, but
Yeah, no clue what you mean, but
the little square thing from the fence, you see, that's gonna get a full color instead of the small poles on it. So after I built this guy here, I felt like I needed to make some more picnic areas or just a place where people could sit. So I tried to use your chairs, but they were too small to fit for this sort of kiosk theme here. I don't know.
yeah,
I just used the ones I already did over there and just made it look messy again here. As I said, I'm literally just trying to use all kind of pieces I can here just to fill up this area. And at the end, it works. I like all this clutter and messiness there is all over the place here. And of course,
Vespas, yeah.
I destroyed a little bit. I didn't know if it was the right color I chose to put right next to the same color house.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Well,
But yeah, it is what it is.
it can happen, coincidence. So
Yeah. But we're getting close to the end. But I'm still just doing the last bits here to the houses. I also missing the other part of the house on this side too, which you also will see me do here at the end. But all in all, it actually came out quite good. When I first started getting into the park at this time, I just had in mind that I wanted to make some broken up buildings, but I just didn't know where to start. But the groove kicked in, and I'm happy about the end result so far of this.
Yeah, man, it's looking great. And also, this kind of buildings or concept, it's far away from what the game is made for. So I think you've done very well in that concept.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It was also very tedious work, but it's also super fun though. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's so fun to destroy it in some way.
Yeah, sure.
And just okay, how do I want to destroy this house now when I build it? And yeah, it gives you ideas you didn't think of before. So I thought that was kind of neat. And also this little suitcase here I placed. That was cool just too. If you just put the others below the ground, so you only had this one poking. Just lying around there.
Indeed.
We need more of that stuff though, like backpacks
Yeah.
and stuff. That would have been cool to have.
But I don't think we are going to be getting that much more.
Oh,
scenery.
I don't think we're getting anything anymore.
No,
Only
probably not.
only rides,
Yeah.
and then it's maintenance mode for Planet Coaster. I think
Well, that's what I say.
that's what
But,
they say.
well,
Yeah.
to be honest, we have a lot of things we can work with. So look where we are now with all the items that's it's in the game now. So
Yeah, and we just got 400 new pieces, right? So
Yep.
it's just to find a way to get to use them all. And I did use a few of them in this video, mainly just the trim pieces. I really like those pieces they gave us. Those work very nice as that. But nothing else particularly from the Ghostbusters pack yet. But it will come as soon as it get into our building brain. Then we'll probably get to use them a lot.
true. I think we also can on this road. Maybe we can also add like a building that's going over the road or something. Maybe it's only the front part with the other side down in the crater. Maybe that can work.
That would actually be quite cool. Yeah, I like
So
that
that
idea.
we could fill up this side a bit more, maybe.
Yeah,
But you already done a lot of work there now. So if we cover it with the building, maybe it's too much.
it's okay. I mean, we can always move
Okay.
things, you know, and
Yeah.
we'll see where it takes us.
Yep.
Well, I'm looking forward to kind of like try to make the other buildings in this where there's like no other side where you have to like make the kind of like you have to do a little bit of interior kind of like to get the illusion of this house is it's half broken. In
Oh
some
no, interiors. Please don't let me do interiors.
Nah, you can just like make a broken like just I don't know.
I will just fill it up with trees. That's what I'm gonna do.
All right, yeah, we can do that. A lot of trees.
I done that with the first building I made like last episode, like the tree in the opening of the door, just all trees and you cannot look inside. So
Okay.
it's soft.
Yep. Well, we can place some trees in there. They grow everywhere here in the wasteland, anyways, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just doing the last bits here before we go to the cinematics. Just making this look a little bit more abandoned. And also, I didn't even this sign. I always forget we have these sort of small signs here. I thought this was kind of neat to have this too. More stuff, more clutter, just more mess, right? And putting the newspapers in the back here, I thought was kind of neat. To have it in the back there.
That's a great idea.
So, but I think this is pretty much it. before we go to the cinematics. There's not so much more I add here. Oh, it is actually right now. We are at the cinematics. So yeah, that was it.
Great.
I can't wait to start building more, because I feel like if we make an addition to what we see now on the left, build a few more buildings next to the crater that is kind of like what I said, half made and half broken. I think that's going to be a nice addition.
Yep. Yeah, I have nice ideas for that part, but yeah, that's for another video, of course.
Yeah, the ideas never stop coming for us, so it's awesome. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. It means a lot, and if you like the video, give it a like. And thanks for joining me once again, Oboteur.
Yeah, sure, man, no problem.
It's awesome. So yeah, guys, have an awesome day. Bye.